Start by saying Happy New Year to our Jewish community, Shana Tova, and hope everyone a happy and healthy New Year there. And just got done probably the morning session of getting prepared for Colorado. Certainly spent most of the day yesterday looking at both sides of the ball from our Cal game. And then we had our players in, spent the afternoon with our players, practiced last evening. Guys were in a good place, good spirit, excited to get back on the field. Certainly felt like there was a lot of things to build off of offensively to be better than we were. We felt like we left some yards and points out there. Defensively, we felt like there's a lot of things we can build upon to be better there. And our players are looking forward to the opportunity to get back out there Saturday at 6:30, as are our coaches. I think everybody realizes that we didn't play our best game on Saturday, and for us to continue to build the program and keep getting better, we need to keep getting better in every game. And I think there were a lot of good in the game. Jedd obviously threw for the most amount of yards he has in his career with 401 yards. And I think if you ask Jaden, he'll say that there was probably about another 100 out there that he would like back, as well as, probably one of those interceptions was unnecessary there at the end of the game. So we'll just continue to build off of our offense. They'll continue to improve, I believe. I know that our defense will continue to improve tackling and against the run. We know that we've had some struggles the last 2 weeks, and we're looking forward to the opportunity to get better there at practice Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
In terms of rushing yards allowed over the last couple of games, what seems to be the common denominator?
It's usually the same thing, which would be tackling, would always be the starting point. It's that first tackle, that breaking through. But I think the other part of it is that we weren't necessarily in our gaps. We weren't as gap sound as we would like to be, and all of a sudden you have two guys in one gap and nobody in the other gap, and next thing you know, that run can go. And when you're a one-gap defense, meaning everybody's responsible for one gap, if you have two guys in one gap and no one in the other, that's where you can kind of get caught. And that's really what got us both in the North Dakota State game and then the Cal game.
When it comes to tackling, where do you draw the balance in practice to be able to work on it but not injure people? I don't know how much do you do tackling in practice?
Yeah, so we do tackling drills in practice, but we don't tackle to the ground in practice for that exact reason, Brian, that you really, at this point in the season, you're in week 5 to start tackling guys to the ground other than our basics period at the end with our younger players that aren't playing the games. We really can't do that. But what we feel that we needed to emphasize more of is more tackling drills. So it's not just going to be one period, it'll be 2 periods a day. And we're really, the key of tackling is body position. And if we can continue to emphasize being in the right body position, then I think we'll do a better job of getting them down.
Do you think in any way the fact that if someone's not taken to the ground in practice, that they don't have that muscle memory when it comes to the games, or is that just expected?
I think it's expected. I've never been anywhere where you take them to the ground in the season, so it would be probably the same for everybody.
Jedd, after you guys ran for 115 yards in the first quarter, how did you just kind of assess what happened with your real running game after that?
Our running game was kind of I think we ran for 150 total yards. There was 15 yards in sacks that got taken away from that. We ran the ball fine. We ran the ball when we needed to. We really didn't have a problem moving the ball up and down the field. So I would say we got stopped on to start the half. In the first play of the third quarter, we ran the ball for 15 or a 10-yard gain. It was 1st and 10 on the 45. Ran the ball again. It was 2nd and 7. Ran the ball again, and got stopped. And then threw it and it was incomplete. And then on the next drive, we got stopped on an option play on 3rd and 2. And then the game was about an 18-point game. Then it became an 11-point game. Still mixed the run in a little bit, but I thought that our passing game was outstanding.
Do you, on defense, look at other possible personnel, or the guys that are in there kind of just need to step up?
Well, we're always going to look to evaluate if there's somebody that we can put in the game, or are there different packages that we can incorporate with, let's call it, extra safeties or extra linebackers or extra D linemen or whatever it might be that you need to do to stop the run. We kind of have been researching that again, or looking at that today, looking at that yesterday afternoon, and just seeing if there's some things that we need to do differently, or if we just need to really be more gap sound and more fundamental sound when it comes to just stopping the run a couple more times. We had some, there was 3 third down and threes, and 2 of them we were tackling them in the backfield. And we had one situation where it should have been a 4th and 6, and they would have had to kick a field goal, and they wound up pushing the pile all the way through, and we can't let that happen. We've got to be able to have 2 guys around them and make that tackle.
I think the delay of game happened after that kind of contested catch in the back of the end zone. Is that right?
Yeah.
And is that because you guys were trying to investigate whether to review it?
Yeah, there was a little bit of a communication going on is that being reviewed? Are we looking at that? We're trying to get information to not have to use a timeout, but to be able to, as they're telling me that they're looking at it. And while they're telling me they're looking at it, by the time we were told that it's going to stand, I think there was 9 seconds on the play clock. We have to look at the mechanics of that. Yeah, I mean, at that point in time, I needed to call timeout, or Jaden, needed to call timeout, and we didn't. And then we need to make sure that, we just can't go backwards in that situation. We were on the 17-yard line, and it was at that point in time, 11-point game. It was 35-24.
Dorian almost made that catch. He made that ridiculous catch on the sideline. He doesn't get talked about nearly as much as Jacob does or T-Mac does, but where is he growing the most, would you say, over the last year or so?
I would say Dorian has embraced the grind of what we're asking him to do. He's embraced playing every snap. I think his probably numbers are close to like 98%, 97% of the snaps in games. His hands are exceptional. He can really make any contested catch. We threw that one ball behind him a little bit on that in cut, which normally he would make. I would expect Dorian to make that. But when you look at what he's done, really, since he's been here, arrived here as a walk-on, earned himself a scholarship based on the way he played the last 5 weeks of last season, then embraced, all the T-Mac and the Jacob and the talk, all offseason, and just kept working, never missed a rep. I don't believe he ever missed a practice in spring or fall, and then has continued to improve his ability to make a bunch of plays, and he's now really got great playmaking ability, and his blocking improved this past week as well. There was some couple runs that we ran early in the game where he ended up really, being the guy that washed down the safety to allow Mike Wiley to bounce 2 runs.
What are your expectations for Tanner McLaughlin going into the season?
What were they, or what are they now? I would say throughout a camp, we really enjoyed watching his progression when he was coming back from the knee injury and seeing how talented he was as a catcher. What we needed to see is, could he cut? It was all straight line speed. We were just working all throughout spring practice was straight line. And as we were continuing the process of seeing who was going to play for us and the evaluation and how we were trying to build the offense to where we wanted it to go, his athleticism was showing up, but we weren't really sure. As each week has progressed, he's become more confident in our system. And as he become more confident, I think that he'll continue to make plays. I think he had 88 yards receiving this past week. And again, there was probably about another 25 or so that we could have gotten him the ball. And I expect him to continue to be a nice vertical threat for us in the passing game. Speedy is doing fine. He'll probably be out for 4 weeks to 6 weeks. Is traditional numbers for an ankle sprain of his nature at his position. And so We're out about 1 week right now, and then we'll have to see how he does, how he progresses. But the challenge, of course, is always how quickly can you come back as long as you come back healthy. So he's hitting the rehab hard. And while he's in the rehab, I feel really good about DJ, Jonah, and Michael. And then we'll have that competition for that fourth spot with Drake and Rocker and some of the other guys.
To follow on the wide receiver question, there was a belief maybe that we'd see more guys, Kevin Green, AJ Jones might have been in the mix. Is it a matter that those guys are not ready, or is it more just you want to limit the number of guys that Jaden can be comfortable with?
It's just always been my philosophy anywhere I've ever been that we haven't played a ton of receivers in the season. We play at a fast tempo. We don't substitute a lot. When we do substitute, we substitute guys to come in for certain plays or packages or for need be. But I think that the whole idea is you play your best, just like you do in the NFL. And then if there's somebody that has an opportunity to spell a guy or develop, you develop on the practice field. And then as your time continues to come, that's when you make your strides.
In that same vein, is Kean not playing because Tanner's been so good and you can't take him off the field?
Yeah, and I think it's all of it. These guys are, they're freshmen. And we're playing with a lot of freshmen, but we don't need to play, just with a freshman team. And we have, there's a great amount of experience there. Tanner's played a lot of football, just not here. Alex has played a lot of football. And then Kean is continuing to grow and build and learn. And then I think as Kean continues to get better, Kean's going to be a special tight end for us, as is Kevin Green. Kevin Green's going to be an outstanding slot receiver for us. I think AJ is going to continue to grow and be a really, really good wide receiver for us in the future. But the beautiful thing that you have in college football is you have time. And you don't have to make those decisions immediately. And you just let the best guys play. And the next group work really hard to find a way to get on the field. And then as they continue to improve, your depth improves and your team improves.
To Dorian, how much of what he does is innate and instinctual versus what he's able to actually work on in practice?
I think he's really an innate instinctual basketball player. He's a phenomenal basketball player. And when you watch some of the things that he does, you could see basketball was his first sport or his first love, and he's got you watch him with the ball in his hands, you watch his eye-hand coordination. I think the instincts come from when he's catching the football, but when he's learning how to the route running, the run blocking, the spatial recognition that occurs on a football field, I think every day is a development there, and I'm really impressed with how hard he's working to get better at being a great wide receiver.
Did you learn about Delores' punting ability when he kicked that ball against North Dakota State? And why did he do that?
Why did we punt this week, or what happened against North Dakota? Oh, no, we learned about his punting ability in camp when we put when we decided that we were going to have that ability to have the quick punt or the quick kick that we used this week, which we missed by about a quarter of an inch. That would have been a fantastic, being up 14-7, make him drive 99.5 there. But the North Dakota State one was interesting. We were trying to go fast, and they switched the ball out. So Singer had a ball, and the ball was spotted. And no one knew what to do with the second ball, so they just threw it right to Jedd, and instead of him chucking it, he just turned around and punted it. He's beautiful.
Can you talk about the offensive line and how it's progressed throughout the season? Because they put together a good game against Cal.
The offensive line is getting better every week. The offensive line, Brennan Carroll has done a great job with our offensive line. And you watch Jordan Morgan's progression. I think that Jordan is playing at a fantastic level at left tackle right now. And then as you go throughout the offensive line, really, I think we've given up 6 sacks or 8 sacks, something like that. But I'd say we've really given up about 2-3 sacks. A couple of them we've just taken based on time, based on situation, based on a snap over our head, a snap of a ground ball. I think Josh Baker, we've had one or two snapping issues, but other than that, you see his development. Peyton Fears is playing better than he did a year ago. He's more comfortable in the offense, what we ask of him to do. And then, Big Jonah, we've talked about him really since he's arrived, how fortunate we are that we got Big Jonah here early so he could be a starter for us, and he's proven that. And then Josh Donovan has been there with Sam Lange now for a bunch of years of college football, and those guys working together and spelling one another has helped us to be able to play 6 offensive linemen, not 5. I think that really helps our depth and also to stay a little fresh.
Jedd, you talk about where you're in the building process and there's always lessons to be learned. How do you take the moment with the touchdown from Jedd not to look like he was stopped, referees didn't blow the whistle? How do you take that and make that into a teaching moment for the team after that play? What do you say?
Which play was that?
The touchdown where it looked like he was stopped, kept going.
Oh, Jaden Ott. Yeah. Oh, the push to pile. Yeah, the push to pile philosophy is, every official officiates that completely different. Sometimes they stop it quick because they're talking about the health and safety of how many guys are, stopping forward progress. Other times they let the play go a little bit longer. Other times they're somewhere in the middle. Other times you're trying, how many defensive players are jumping in the pile will determine how many times, how quickly they'll blow the whistle. I think you just play through the whistle, and that's what we talked about our team, talked to our team about. You don't make a decision when the play is over. The officials make the decision when the play is over, and therefore we just have to always, without a doubt, find a way to play through the whistle, not assume the whistle's coming. Okay, thanks, guys. Have a nice Monday.